Brian, where are you broadcasting from? This is not the background I've grown accustomed to seeing.
An Airbnb in Chicago.
It looks pretty spacious. I mean, what are we? Is this like a 3-bedroom?
It's 2, but it's not very big. It's just a camera angle.
So did you sell your place?
I did.
Wow.
I did a reverse Matic.
you sold the top.
top.
and then so you found, now you're renting after this?
And then I'm going to rent in the city and get a lake house.
There you go. And so this is just, when can you move into your rental?
Like a week.
Okay. So you got a week in the Airbnb.
10 days or something like that. So we might have to do another one of these where I'm doing this on my mobile hotspot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Your connection seems good for now.
Right. Okay.
I'm saying this is very exciting. I mean, we've done lots of shows. We've done lots of calls. I've never not seen you at your exact desk.
So I paid for the mobile hotspot upgrade.
Yeah.
There's like $25 a month or something, just in case my internet goes out for DFS. I'm like, it'll be worth it. And I think this is probably the longest I'll ever use it. Right. This 1 hour here.
Did you get your full monitor set up for the week, or are you going with a more bare bones setup?
I took the whole thing. I'm not going to leave my PC lying around.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Coney Dog tried to hop on Club Top Shot last night, and he was struggling with the internet there. Yeah, and John is upset. I mean, people want the quintessential window curtain. I mean, it looks gone, way too nice.
It's gone, not coming back.
Maybe you're going to turn into Awesemo, where you broadcast from a different room every single stream. He has never broadcasted from the exact same spot once. Yeah. That's a fun fact.
Does the money come along with it?
I think so. Do
you have to work for it?
From if you try to read between the lines behind Awesemo's Twitter account, he made a bunch of money playing DFS and then gave it all back on Top Shot. Is kind of the vibe I get.
That's not that far off. The only reason we're doing all right is because we were 1 month before him.
That's right. Exactly. 1 month before. Yeah. I can make fun Cool Cats jokes and Awesemo's, art as fun. It doesn't quite seem. I'm gonna bring up a nice compliment. I mean, this is just a super genuinely nice comment from Dick Chuck. Thank you, Dick Chuck. Evening, guys. Here to hang out for a bit. And want to say Brian is one of the most honest guys I listen to on YouTube. Love both of you and keep up the awesome, insightful, opinionated streams on the tube. How nice is that, Brian?
Well, thanks, Dick Chuck. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Dick Chuck. You're a real mensch.
I love that about the internet. On Reddit, you'll read some super insightful post, and then it's from my balls 4822. Thanks, my balls.
It'll be like a priest from a local parish being like, "Fuck you guys, you stupid hacks," and then a guy named Dick Chuck is just the kindest guy. Yeah, Paul or Brian, I doubt we're counting this as a vacation here. Right?
Oh, I thought that said vaccination. Before
You're quarantining in an Airbnb.
Yeah. No. Does not.
Nobody. I do think, Brian, and this is kind of a big deal. I famously took a week off in March. We went to South Carolina. I believe I'm going to take a week off in July. Just the calm before the storm. I'm getting my ducks in a row for the NFL season. I'm realizing that I am going to be extremely busy, and I think I need to take a week off in July before I don't vacation again for a long time.
No, that is not acceptable.
Please, Brian, I'm begging you.
I was thinking about going on vacation in August. Just going golfing.
Yeah.
For a week. I think we talked about this off stream, but
dude,
yeah.
Maybe you sync up your vacation when I go and it's less awkward.
I don't have a specific time frame. July is good, a good time to go though, because there's the biggest lull in DFS is the biggest lull in sports is July 4th. Week of there's very little sports. Baseball's on all-star break, etc.
Yeah, I wasn't even really thinking through that angle, but that will be a nice bonus.
Yeah.
But if we've proven anything, Brian, it's not like we need actual sports on the calendar to give us fodder to talk about.
No.
This is why I wish I never would have told anyone that I was leaving my job. Now everyone assumes they can access me around the clock. They say I can't go on vacation because I just quit my job. This is the worst, guys. I want to go back to being the guy that was just grinding so hard. I don't want to be the guy that's lounging around all day anymore.
That is that's also what everyone does. Like when you quit your job, everyone takes like a week in between and goes and does something. I mean, not everyone, but it's pretty common.
Yeah, come on. Let me have a little summer vacation here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I did want to ask you because it was right after lolz last week. That was when the Jon Rahm stuff happened. You seemed like you were tilting on Twitter more than I normally see you tilt.
I was joking.
But you seemed
mainly joking.
No.
I think I had like 4 beers in me. Okay. I was at like a bar for the first time in a while, just sitting there watching something, probably the playoffs, NBA playoffs or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, all right.
That actually accounts for it because I was like, either you're tilting. I didn't account for you being drunk, but that actually in retrospect would also account for the posts.
Yeah, that's mainly it. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't like he should have 3 lashings and walk of shame the 18th hole. I'm joking. Like, I mean, I think like someone responded on mine there. What if 20 players got it and then they'd all have to go out solo, which was my suggestion. Like just have them go from the car to the tee off after the 2 guys and finish the fucking round. He's clearly healthy. And the guy's like, yeah, what if 20 people did that? This is why we have protocols. It's like they've been making these protocols up and changing them for 8 months. They're all fucking made up. It's not like God's law or something. Just fucking change it and then go forward. But like whatever. The main thing I think is like if someone gets sick on the course, they could like sue them. You know what I mean? Like even though it has nothing to do with Rahm. So like I understand why they got rid of him. It actually helped me, if anything, in DFS.
Okay, I was just gonna ask what your exposure was. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the guys who's in my Discord won that, by the way. Congrats. Lariato, I think is how he pronounces his screen name.
Really? Very nice.
Yeah, 250K. He's always up there. And like he's always taking like, but he's like a lot of times he just gets screwed like in MMA.
Always the bridesmaid.
Always the bridesmaid, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see. I mean, I just only saw like the Twitter chatter. I didn't see like all the mechanics of what went down. But it's like, I don't know. I get it with the UFC stuff in that like those guys are breathing all over themselves. The transferring of COVID is probably very likely there. But I mean, the golf stuff outside, like, haven't we proven that the outside transmission levels are extremely, extremely low? Like, I guess it does seem just overly, I don't know, Byzantine or whatever.
Yeah, the New York Times even had an article like a month ago where they were criticizing the CDC's estimate of 10% or less chance of transmission outside. Because they said, yes, that's true, but it's more like 0.001%. And there's been no documented case in the world of outdoor transmission.
Yeah.
And this is the New York Times. So,
yeah.
I would just fucking let him play, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
And that is like one of the worst beats, or one of the luckiest for our guy Lariato. So enjoy that too. You can't model that one.
Yeah, what do we think? Because we were joking around last week about you win a DFS tournament, you get the jersey. What do you buy when you win a DFS tournament because a guy got COVID scratched?
I think you do. I think you got to buy a Rahm one too, because Cantlay won.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like you purposely get COVID or something. Like I was trying.
You become an anti-vaxxer, like in campaign, like donate to their fund.
I mean, wait. Honestly, though, if a golfer wins, I mean, they don't have jerseys. What do you get to commemorate your golfer?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's gonna. I mean, I'm sure.
Hang on, Have you won a golf GPP before?
Yeah, won a bunch.
How did you celebrate?
I don't remember.
Was it with a vacation?
No.
Was it buying a polo? What, you
Yeah.
buy a polo for the brand that they wear, whether it's the Nike or the Under Armour. Spieth wins, you get some nice Under Armour stuff. I don't know.
Well, you could buy a golf club from like TaylorMade if they had TaylorMades or something. There's not a lot you can do.
There's not a lot you can do. I mean, we don't even have golf NFT projects. You can't even go buy their moments.
Yeah, they had that. Didn't they have one that I saw, or was that actually physical cards?
Oh, did they? I might have missed it. There's a new project every day. I got a workday swimsuit when Phil won. Steel Curtain, we were just talking about this. Do you have a take on if Rahm should be vaxxed? Likely cost him around $1 million.
I mean, I do think it's a little too in vogue to like just ask somebody some of these questions. Like you would never ask someone some personal question like this, a year or 2 years ago. And it's like between someone and their doctor. Like we're not all fucking experts on this virus. I'm not saying Rahm, it's extremely unlikely that he didn't have to take it because of doctor's opinion, but you never know. You never know. And by the way, it's extremely unlikely because he's extremely likely to get really sick because of his age and the way this virus works. Not that I'm a fucking expert, but yeah, I mean, he and also I saw somewhere he did take one. He did take the first one or something like that, but it might have been after they found out he was in contact with someone who had COVID. I don't know. That's what I was wondering. I was asking our buddy Steve on Twitter. He'd never really asked me if he did get both vaxes and then somehow tested positive, would you let him play? Would you make an exception for him?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
what do the blue-pilled folks in the chat?
Well, who do you think our audience is, Brian?
And most people are blue-pilled, so it's by probability.
Dude, speaking of blue-pilled, I was cracking up. I saw a post today or just earlier from Noah here about. So you saw Elizabeth Warren, came out with the classic, Bitcoin is bad for the environment. And so we should shut down these cryptocurrencies. Sean Hannity now has a Bitcoin laser eyes updated profile pic.
Really?
After on Monday, he came out in support of anti-Bitcoin because Trump had some hit about, Trump's like, I want the dollar to be the greatest currency. Right. And therefore, Bitcoin can't be it. It's competing with the U.S. So Sean Hannity's like, yeah, screw Bitcoin. Then Elizabeth Warren comes out and says that she doesn't like Bitcoin. And so now he's back. Laser eyes.
I was gonna say, if Trump hates it, Elizabeth Warren hates it. Like we're in trouble here.
I know. I mean, it's just so. I mean, like this is the state of American politics right here. A guy who was out on Bitcoin on Monday now has laser eyes.
Does that surprise you?
It doesn't, but it's pretty good.
I did a podcast with Matic months ago, and I want to go back and listen to it because we talked about Bitcoin, and I was saying like the thing I was most scared about was this kind of regulation FUD with the press on board, the corporate press anyways, on board and really hammering bullshit. Like, and I'm almost positive I probably did say the environment. And then another one there'll be is like it disproportionately affects minorities. I'm sure that's coming. What else can they do? It's the same playbook.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking playbook.
Yeah.
But we do got to print all this money and give it to banks again, because that always works. So let's keep doing that. So it's a miracle. The same prescription over and over again.
Thank you, Michael. It's you take some swings every now and again.
The hand gestures and stuff.
Yes. Hannity, I hate your new profile pic. I think it's disrespectful. The US dollar is the #1 currency in the whole world. Right after the election when Trump won, I was visiting my friend Brian in Philadelphia, and he's a comedian and a yuckster, and we just spent the entire weekend talking to each other in the Trump accent. Like that was like our coping mechanism, and we could not stop. It was so bad, but 2 days straight of just nonstop talking to each other as Trump. So I think that's where I cut my teeth back then.
I could see doing that. Yeah. Once you start.
Let's see here. I'm sure Brian is going to be hodling all the new central bank environmentally friendly crypto.
I might gamble on some of it, honestly. If it's easy to buy, if it's the stuff that's hard to buy, like Safe Moon or whatever that Portnoy did, and like I can't even gamble on this because it's going to take me 5 hours to figure out how to buy it.
Well, and gambling on it, like to do it well, you need to be in the trenches. You got to see what the Barstool bros are talking about. You got to figure out what Elon, cum rocket. What is he going to be boosting that day? You know,
I would consider it like an NFL Sunday sides 5 minutes before kickoff. Just for the entertainment gamble, you know what I mean? I'm not expecting to win.
Yeah. Let's see this. We got Trump best ball, bro. Trump drafts Mason Rudolph 101. Let's see here. Is that impression available for cameos? You'll have to ask Mans. Today, Mans did launch a utility for his NFT project. He is offering cameos now to all holders. I think it's great to see some of these NFT projects finally get some utility, Brian.
Yeah. Well, how many you got left?
There's I think he's got about 40 left to sell out of the 200, and then it's sold out here. So,
yeah, we said this last week with Pete, with Pete quitting his job and stuff. But if anyone who's gotten like value out of any of my stuff would subscribe to Pete's channel, so we can have more content creators like Pete doing stuff full time, I'd appreciate it personally. If you're on my channel, you have to go to his. And someone here from my channel goes, let a listener fill in for Pete on your vacation. And guys, hosting is a lot harder than it looks, which is why I originally approached Pete, because I would be really bad, I'm sure. And our buddy Nelson Adcock on Twitter was trying to do a video for his new product, his Cut Sweats product.
Oh, I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, they updated the site and stuff, and he was going to cut a video on how to use it, and he just tweeted out, he's like, I can't remember what he said, but he's just like, I'm so bad at this, it's so uncomfortable. And I remember doing my first video too, and I felt the same way and just deleted it. And I emailed or DM'd Josh Engelman from Awesemo. I'm like, I have a lot more respect for you guys because I feel like I'm a moron. He's like, you'll get used to it, and you do get used to it.
It is like, I mean, I'd done improv for 4 or 5 years before I had started even trying to do some on-camera stuff. And I remember even just getting to do on-camera, having complete confidence on stage, performing a lot of people, still being on camera was a little nerve-wracking. Just that element of it's now recorded, it's now preserved. It's just reps, it's just getting comfortable. I think you would even say for yourself, like you are way more comfortable in natural on mic a year from when we started. I mean, it's night and day. Yeah,
definitely. There's also there's a big difference between live and recording a podcast not live. Yeah. I personally I like not live. It's just way less pressure.
Well, I would say just in general, conversational podcast is less pressure. What Nelson was trying to do, or if you're cutting a video by yourself, recorded, that's where it's really tricky, because what people don't realize, the thing I always say is the camera sucks like 20% of the energy out. Right now, as I'm talking, I feel like I'm being super energetic. Like to me, deep down inside, I'm like, just relax, Peter. But if I actually just podcasted at my default tone like this, you guys would all be bored out of your fucking mind. But this is how I am most of the day. But when you get on camera, you need to be like this because the camera is going to strip that energy away. So it's just like one of those things you get used to over time.
For me, it was just talking to no one is so weird. So obviously this is much easier because I see like, they can't tell, but your face is right here. So it's like, it's so much easier than, hey, so ownership is blah, blah, blah. It's like, what am I doing? And you have to like look at the camera occasionally. Anyways, mine's on an angle. So you're like, it's the whole thing's pretty awkward, but you get used to it.
I always find the middle ground between, like, you and I, completely unscripted. We literally do not have a single show topic for tonight, but we're just having a conversation. I find that easy. I find if I have a script or whatever, and I know like the points I want to hit, that's easy. It's generally like the middle ground where it's like you have like an outline of things you want to hit, and you're trying to vacillate between like making sure you get the messaging across while also making it seem natural. That's always kind of the tricky medium middle for me.
What was tricky for me was, and I've mentioned this before, there's two things that just reminded me of another. One was listening, making sure, like, 'cause I would listen back, and I'm like, I didn't listen to Pete's question there at all. Like, I could tell, like, my head has already got an answer for something else or something, and like I didn't listen at all. So I was like, just make sure you like knock yourself in the head and listen. And then where do you draw the line? I'm interested in this question for people who podcast a lot. But for two things, repeating yourself and quoting other people, because it can get pretty annoying always saying, and it can come off as pompous, saying like Tom Woods, the historian, said this, and then say your thing, and then you're just saying that all the time. Because not like we don't have all these original ideas all off the cuff all the fucking time, right? No. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like repeating yourself. One thing I just did is reminding me of it. Is I said this on a previous show. Like I say that like at least 5 times a show. And so it's like, how many times do you have to?
It's tricky because what we're doing, it's the same way as if you think about a tweet, right? If you did the same tweet within 6 hours of each other, what do we say? We say, in case you missed it, or something like this, or bumping this for the people who missed it, because we are afraid internally that someone who saw it before is gonna be like, hey, you jackass, you tweeted that earlier, we already saw it. And you're saying, I'm getting out in front of that. I know you saw that. And so I think we do the same thing on shows. Instead of just delivering it, knowing like, hey, there's a lot of people watching this week who might not have watched last week. We're afraid of someone saying, hey, you already said that or whatever. And so we reflexively get in defense mode, I think is what happens.
But there's also like an etiquette of like, whatever, let's say Blender had that line or an idea, a DFS. And then I just say it without saying Blender said, right? That's easy in DFS, but there's tons of examples. You know, Sam Harris said this, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you always have to quote or attach a name to the person who's the idea? Maybe you've been using an analogy or something close to it, and it's not exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I definitely do. I know a lot during DFS season. I'm sure I said, you know, as Blender says, or I'll say, as Leone said, you know, I do that kind of stuff a lot because I also want to be, you don't want people to think you're stealing ideas and presenting them as your own. But I know what you mean. It gets a little tedious if you feel like you need to do a footnotes for every single thing you say.
Yeah. And no one reads the footnotes, I think. I lost my train. Oh, that's funny. It was about losing your train of thought.
Yeah.
Like what I've noticed too, and tell me if you feel the same way, is that generally people don't care. And what I say by that is like, they don't care if you screw up. They don't care if you lose your train of thought. When you lose your train of thought, you immediately get embarrassed. Like it's totally natural. Everyone does it, but no one gives a fuck. Like everyone loses their train of thought. And like whenever I see someone lose their train of thought, and it's like good, if that happens, the other guy can kind of hop in really quick, usually is pretty helpful. But like it just in general, like no one cares. Of course, there's the assholes who like we talked about before. See, I'm doing it again, where they like look at Pete's background, like, why is your pillow shaped this way? You know what I mean? There's always these weirdos, but like for the most part, all the reasonable people is like no one cares.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
Yeah, in their defense, one time my pillow was shaped kind of like a dildo, and I understand why that was the blanket, why that was distracting. But it also goes back to, I think, that thing of doing stuff live versus doing stuff recorded. And again, I learned this from improv. People will cut you so much slack if they know they know we're doing this off the cuff. They know if we're rambling or we're stumbling or I say like or because we are doing it off the cuff, people naturally cut you slack. Versus again, say the Nelson thing, I'm doing a pre-recorded video. It's same with a stand-up, right? When a stand-up bombs, it's like you had theoretically your entire life to plan for this set. You could have been perfecting it. So I can't give you much slack because you came here and said, I want your time. Whereas you and me, it's like, no, we didn't plan this. We're just coming here. And so I think that's an interesting thing too, of where the type of formats where people will cut you slack.
There's no tickets here. Like, you're welcome to leave. Like, we're not CNN or
I like
movie.
I like how you went from 10 minutes ago is please subscribe to Pete's channel and watch our stuff to support him. But also, you can just fuck right off.
My channel. Feel free to leave.
I will say that, Brian, I'm at 7.99K subs. I think I'm like right. I think I'm 5 subs away from 8,000.
Okay, sub to Pete's channel. Maybe we can get to 8 in this stream alone.
And I mean, I think this is actually a very relevant comment. This life is temporary. It is pointed once for man to die. Then comes the judgment. If your heart is not right with God, then unfortunately, all that's waiting for you is hell. Turn to Jesus today. Brought to us by Cross username. So this kind of stopped me in my tracks, Brian.
Is this a family member?
I do not. It could be. I have no idea who this is. It's very ominous. The red. Who are you, Cross? Do you want to host lolz with Brian the week
we have an open week?
We do have an opening week. Should we have an American Idol where it sounds like someone in your YouTube was interested? We get these people on. We could have a lot of people compete to see who gets the guest hosts while I'm gone.
I was thinking more like somebody we know who's kind of been like in the DFS industry and hosted shows before, so I don't have to bumble along for an hour.
What if I let Spags come host? I feel like you two together would just get my entire YouTube canceled while I was gone.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
You two have a few drinks and get going. You guys.
I don't think Spags would like some of the comments I make though. So
no, you guys would get along. No,
I know. We've done like a bunch of shows already. I'm kidding. I'm talking about the ending the whole government take. So
all right, Philadelphia's done about us talking about meta podcasting bullshit. He wants your take on Fed-owned small piece of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin linked to junk bonds. Do you have a take on this, Brian?
I don't. I didn't know that. MicroStrategies is the sailors?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his.
And the Fed bought a small piece of his. I mean, I don't care if they put it on their balance sheet. That sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah,
then are they linking it to junk bonds so then it tanks and then they can claim, look how bad Bitcoin is?
Oh,
I don't know where we're going here, because I haven't seen it, haven't even give it a second of thought. I gave the tweet that Chipotle increased their prices 4%, way more thought, because that's like 4% directly out of my pocket almost every other day.
You know how I know this is still a DFS show at heart? You said Chipotle, and I immediately thought of the DFS player, not the $1 billion corporation.
He hasn't been playing baseball,
really,
unless he's waiting for NBA to end or something.
Maybe
they're going to take a vacation.
That sounds like it'd be nice for you, or do you think they just got scared of Yukon Dave in those streets?
I would love it. I doubt it, but you never know.
You never know. Yeah, Chipotle 4% increase. I have not had Chipotle in a while. Is that one of your go-tos?
Are you against Chipotle?
No, I like Chipotle. I just haven't had it in a long time.
You can eat pretty healthy at Chipotle.
Yeah, I get the burrito bowls. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
what's your go-to order?
Hot take.
Do you get the full burrito?
No, I usually get the burrito bowl, but sometimes I get the burrito bowl, the fajita mix, no rice, no beans, double meat.
There you go. They sometimes tempt me because I have their app, and so sometimes they'll give me a free guac or something. I'll be like, all right, this marketing worked. I'll come in for a free guac.
Have you seen the chicken wings issue in the world?
No, what is this?
There's like some shortage of chicken wings, so like a lot of and maybe it's just around here, but places are like stopping their half off wings deals. They're out at the bar. They're just completely out because they're getting hard to get.
What are the odds that Darren Rovell has tweeted about this? I really want to play a game right now. Let's set the market. I feel like it has to be high. How new of a news story is this, Brian?
A couple weeks old.
Oh, it's a couple weeks. Okay, maybe I could search. What are the chances you think he has a post about chicken wings?
I don't think it's a big news story.
It just seems like something he would tweet because he could just do the spin where he's like, better stock up for your Super Bowl party early. Chicken wings are in high demand. Is he an
inflation bull? Does he think inflation's coming all the time? I barely see his tweets.
Any kind of business thing that can be remotely tied into the world of sports, I just trust he's on it. All right. You know what?
I'm going plus 300.
I'm going minus 100 here.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I mean, so I'd have to take that bet.
Well, we got some from 2014 here, and we're going to go latest. No, February 3rd. This is the story I was assuming you might have updated. The most fascinating Super Bowl story. The skyrocketing price of chicken wings.
God damn, you're right.
No, but I thought it was going to be recent by how you said it.
That's really old, yeah.
No, like I guarantee he has this article written every year, and he just posts it for the Super Bowl. I guarantee it.
Oh, that's a Super Bowl one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. I really wanted an updated chicken wings post for Robel. I'm trying to. Are you sure, Brian? Let me look on top stories here.
I wonder if that would have qualified for our bet. That would have been a backdoor win right there.
It would have been.
What is that picture of that dude in there?
Hey, Brian. I mean,
yeah.
What? Hey, Brian, do that stuff on your own time, man.
Speaking of chicken wings, I don't know what that means.
I don't know, Brian. I'm searching chicken wings here, and all the top stories are not about it. Woman set husband on fire because she thought he poisoned her chicken wings. I think this is fake news, Brian. Where are you getting your news about chicken wings?
Oh, from my brother, just at the bar.
That's your source. Maybe your brother read the Darren Robel article from February.
But it was verified by the waitress at another bar.
Oh my! I don't believe this.
That's fact checked.
So it's what is it? It's chicken wings and lumber are what are super expensive right now.
I don't. Chicken wings is the only one I know
of. Okay. All right. I'm
sure there's other stuff.
Let's get to the real good questions here. Brian, have you had crispy chicken wings in Chicago?
Well, Crisp is the name of the restaurant. I've had Crisp. Yeah, I'm sure I've had wings from there once.
Okay, my
Crisp
bad.
Is good.
Crisp. Wait, they blacked out the prices of wings on our menus. It's like lobster. It's market
Come
price.
on, guys, keep it coming.
I don't believe any of you.
Keep it coming, KV3. Yeah.
What is this? How tilting is it to just see Pete just ignore the follow instructions? Oh, because Corey's in my follow. I don't know, man. Corey needs to earn it. He's been replying recently. Let's see if Corey has earned it. Let's look at our interactions recently and see what do we got? Igloo.
Did you see that dude tag me and Draft Cheat and Alex and a couple other people on Twitter and told us to follow him and retweet?
Yes, I saw that. That was very good. All right, Corey. So you said, first of all, you wanted an odds boost on the underdog pick'em last night. That was rent seeker behavior. Let's see here. You told Silva to sit on it. Now Silva won't talk to me. Let's see here. I don't know, Corey. I don't know if you've earned it yet. Talking about Belair in my mentions. I'm still
process.
I'm still undecided, Corey. I think you got to earn it. I need, the reply guys that are more dedicated get the follows, Corey. I think you can get there.
That's how I do it. That, or if you are an anarchist, then you almost immediately get a follow.
Yeah. So, hey, God, I do want to go back to the guy that did that. And so he tagged you guys and said, I'm new to Twitter. Let me get a follow. And then what did you say to him? You had a back and forth with him.
He followed me after he tweeted it. So he wasn't even following me.
That's really bad for him.
And you could see this in your notifications because it's they go in order.
Yeah. It's really hard to pull fast.
Some other whatever notifications, and then dude
so
follows me.
And then he got upset by that exchange and then unfollowed.
So I pumped our show as a joke, and he took offense to that.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see this. Or wait, or is this a joke? Because then people were doing.
That's not him. Yeah.
Okay, so then people started doing that as a bit.
Yeah. Then someone did it as a bit.
Okay.
I think you passed it. It was.
Was it? I don't know.
It was like Nick Robert. He had two first names.
Two first names.
I can find it.
No, yeah. I think it must have been before that, because I did see that, and that was very good. I can't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't even need to go through the interactions.
There's the Nelson tweet you were referencing. Oh,
yeah, there it is.
I tried to record a little video of how to use the new Cut Sweat site earlier and gave up after an hour. Big props to anyone pumping out video content on a regular basis. Yeah, now I want to find that tweet because I did see it and it was a very funny interaction. But anyways, yes, if you are going to ask for a follow, asking or maybe following that person to begin with. I don't think people realize like how the human mind works. I mean, so like a tweet like that, it's offensive when you do that and you don't follow it. You're clear, like your intentions are known. On the other hand, if just for like the previous week, you had replied a couple of times and engaged and then asked, like our brains are completely wired to be like, oh my God, yes, this is such a nice person. I know them or whatever. I will follow them. I will do whatever. But just that little, like the amount of work that has to go in to trick us into thinking we're being like liked or something, it doesn't take that much effort. You got to just put in a little bit of effort.
I sent you the tweet in the private chat.
Okay.
He changed his name.
He already changed his name?
Yeah, I think people were ripping on his two first names.
Oh, no. Bit. Okay, so it was the guy that I had pulled up.
It was. I was wrong.
Okay. People were ripping on his two first names? Oh, my God. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now I want to see how this sausage got made. This does seem like a post like a DFS guy would do as a joke and a troll. You ratioed him hard there. Draft Cheat's willing to follow, but will unfollow with shitty tweets. Someone I have muted.
Yeah, I guess you have to go to mine right there. Show more replies, maybe. Okay.
Part of being new to Twitter is following people. Yes, but part of being new to Twitter is not immediately asking people to follow you back. Do you think the gambling industry should be regulated by the state? The Massachusetts resident who watches tax dollars drive over the border to gamble in New Hampshire. The answer is yes. Tax revenue from regulated gambling would strongly benefit our state. Trick question. The state has no right to be involved in the first place. You can find interesting takes like this one on my weekly podcast, lolz Wednesdays at 7 Real American Time. Damn, no follow. I'm devastated. At least you got the podcast plug in. I love his thesis that you're getting a podcast boost via your exchange with this guy with
right, like followers. Getting his followers to see my podcast. This is going to make all the difference.
Oh my God. He does still follow me though, Brian. So you've thoroughly
that always happens.
Let's see the people who gave the plunge. Pete, Justin, Colin, and Roto. I mean, there you go. Those are the people who are more adventurous than you.
Yeah, I would consider it if he didn't follow me afterwards. Here's what I was thinking. I was talking about this with my ex. He sounds to me, it seems like a dude who would go like ask a girl he doesn't know out, and then when she says no, he calls her a whore. Like that type of behavior. Because then he immediately unfollowed me.
It's well, that behavior was just petty. But here's another kind of tip thing. You don't want to ask someone to follow you because if it means that much to you, I'll follow you, but I'm going to just mute you right away if your tweets suck or you're like bringing no value whatsoever. So I always think that's weird when people are like, oh, follow me, do this. It's like, okay, if you just ceremoniously want me to follow you, but don't you want to engage with people and actually have conversations? And then if you actually want to do that, then just engage with people regularly. And eventually you'll follow people that you regularly have good conversations with. It's not hard.
What about like the behavioralist side? What about incentivizing bad behavior just in general? So like, it reminds me of this approach is like the advice, like a motivational speaker or something would give. like take a shot. See, go get in front of the
pickup artist,
in front of the people, right? Yeah,
yeah.
And then the wrong person gets a hold of that advice and starts taking shots. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, I didn't even follow this guy. Fuck it, I found his name through Google somehow. I'm gonna throw him on there too.
Yeah, no,
take a shot.
It's completely backwards. I saw a girl a while ago post a screenshot of these DMs from some dating app, and the guy had clearly read some pickup artist tip where it was like, you control the location of the date, and then the like where you want to be is close to your apartment, so you have the natural place to like invite them up to your apartment after. And she was like, no, I don't want to go there. And she's like, how about we go here instead or whatever? And he just immediately self-sabotaged the date because he had been told with this playbook that the only option is this one bar right next to your apartment.
Paper. I'm writing this down.
Brian's like, okay. Yeah, no, it didn't seem to work out well for him having one place in the entire city he was able to meet up.
and no backup plan whatsoever.
No backup plan. Nope, they said it has to be right underneath.
It's always good when like people, I think anyways, when whatever horrible people for racist, any ist or asshole or whatever,
bigots, misogynist,
when they reveal themselves, like you don't want them hiding, right? And like getting in positions of power or blah, blah, blah. You want them. So like when they show themselves, like, oh, thank you. Now I can separate myself from you accordingly. You know what I mean? This is the whole free speech thing we talked about before. With kicking Trump off. It's like, wouldn't you rather know what he's up to? If you hate him, if you think he's crazy, if you think he's going to do horrible things? Like,
well, I think are we getting the best of both worlds right now? He's not president and we seem to know what he's up to, which is like calling for Mar-a-Lago and saying why he hates Bitcoin.
I have no clue what he's up to. I don't pay attention. But I did know a lot more when he was tweeting. What happened? Something happened like in the past day or something that Gambling Twitter was talking about, and I'm like, I have no idea that this occurred. Damn it, I wish I could remember it. But yeah, it like not everyone's paying attention to every source, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's people are crazy, man. Everyone's trying to figure it out. You know, they look to these people for guidance, and I'm sure there was they read somewhere on a message board how to get involved on Twitter. You tag a bunch of your favorite creators. That's enough. Why we're just doing all this meta stuff, guys, don't tag a ton of people. I feel like for me, this started with like fantasy questions, you know, where you tag like 20 people. It's like, first of all, no one wants to be in a thread getting tagged with all that stuff. It's the thread immediately gets muted. So you're not doing it. And on top of that, it doesn't seem like your opinion or what you're going to say about it is that important or special because you're tagging all these other people. Like if I say like, what's the best way to run a sim? And I tag like 15 data scientists in DFS, none of them will respond. But I bet if I asked Brian a direct question, he would say, sorry, I can't tell you that at least.
Do you know RBX88? Yeah. I know a lot of guys.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, just don't tag lots of people. No one likes it.
That's totally true. I don't get as many notifications as Pete does. But yeah, as soon as you get tagged in the group, it's like bam, 20 plus notifications. And sometimes it's kind of funny because people get pissed at that.
And also, like that guy who tagged a bunch of you, here's a great pro tip. Just do literally 4 seconds of research. If you do a tweet and you say, hey, at Brian Hooper, I love lolz because I looked at your profile, saw that's a show you do, and your app is awesome. I love the ownership percentage because he signed up and just saw it. I bet Brian would probably follow him after that thing. Hey, I would love a follow. I think lolz and your app are great. Like, literally 30 seconds of research and boom, you would have them. But instead you're going to mass tag and blow the whole thing up.
Yeah. And follow first. Give it a day.
The number one rule. Oh my goodness.
Somebody kind of did that today. They asked me a question about my first video and then they put only I can reply, tag just one person, and then asked how to do the math. And unfortunately, guy, that video is like almost a year and a half old. I do not remember at all what I did. I just made it up for the video. And, but I did respond to him. So yes, you're right.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? Sometimes I wonder, the people who came here initially for League of Legends DFS content if they wonder what happened to this show. But then someone like Dick Chuck or My Ted 101 says this is my favorite show on YouTube, and it makes it all worth it, Brian.
What percentage stuck around, do you think? There wasn't that many.
It's true. I think there was it was a survival of the fittest thing where we weeded out, and there was about 3 or 4 who stuck around, and then everyone else is new.
I feel like it was higher than that. We still have people pumping League of Legends in our Discord.
Yeah, I got a message from Ryan today. He was referencing a time on the Swolecast, or it was some show where Davis and I were trying to talk about the differences between the LPL and LCK. And he goes, just wanted you to know that I still think of you every time I ponder the stylistic differences between Korean and Chinese LOL teams. Thought leadership has no expiration date. He said it was me and Davis were describing the subtle nuances between the LPL and LCK in one breath, and then in the next breath admitting you weren't actually sure how the game was played, which I think perfectly sums up my time as an LOL DFS thought leader.
Oh man, good times. We didn't have a podcast when that started, like the actual audio podcast.
Yeah.
And so like our first few shows, we got like 800 or something viewers. And then it just kind of nosedived. Then we added the podcast, and I think that had like 60 downloads or something, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
For the first time.
And then we got the big Randone bump, and it's just been a rocket ship ever since.
All praise Randone.
King Randone. Man, it does really tilt me when I see one of his tweets get shared and I have to log into a burner account to see what it said. But one of these days, I can't believe that he interacts with you still, but won't.
He's
me.
My buddy. Why would you not think
well, put in a good word for me, Brian.
I've hinted, but I don't want to get banned myself, Pete.
Yeah. Francis, what is this video about, Pete? I can't keep up. I mean, when I go to title this one, normally we have like a clear, last week it was about why wearing jerseys was dumb. Speaking of which, I mean, let's just go full meta this episode. People were triggered in the tweet out to the audio, Brian.
Could you sum up in the most charitable way what my opinion is, or someone in chat on jerseys?
Your opinion in a very charitable and succinct way is it's just extremely childish and not something an adult should do.
Okay. That's close. I thought it was. I think my opinion is, like I said,
I think my opinion
that's part of it is in any other context, it would be completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's not wrong. And also either one of those definitions doesn't mean I don't think you should wear it, or I think you're dumb, or anything like that. Have fun. Go ahead. Like, I think so many things people do, I don't do, but they might love it. Go for it.
No, Brian, this is where you can't back down, okay? This is the school of hot takes. This is how we get engagement. You say outlandish, polarizing things that you only vaguely care about and that you would never even actually debate to the death about. And then you rile everyone up online. And then they tune in next week to see what kind of ridiculous bullshit will Brian say.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, what route is this going down?
See, this is what I'm saying. He's calling you out for backtracking. I'm saying you can't back down. You need to double down.
That was my entire premise. But there's also other things too you can add onto it. Like, yes, it's fine for children.
So now we got the same question. We want to relitigate this. Thoughts on a blank jersey, or what about jerseys with no name on the back? Before you answer, I just want to say jerseys with your own name on the back, that's even a sub tier of wearing an NFL athlete's name on the back.
We talked about that in the last show.
Okay, did we?
Question.
All right. Think. That's egregious.
Jersey with no name. Still weird, but not as weird. Again, take it out of context. Take it where are you going to wear the business outfit in any other business? Are you going to wear the Applebee's waiter shirt to go to fucking Applebee's?
Yeah, no, keep going. I'm enjoying
That's it.
That's
right.
it.
But here's what the real thing is. Okay, you put on the fucking Applebee's shirt and you put the button on of the waiter's name. That's what a jersey with a name on it is.
Yeah, but
like I fucking love this waiter. He's the best waiter in the tri-state area.
I feel like there's better arguments than that because you don't watch a waiter on national television.
So,
but the whole point is that
there's plenty of things
celebrities
on television where you don't do that. The vast majority, actually.
Right, and I'm saying go with a celebrity route. A
lot of players aren't celebrities. How many followers does Chris Conley have?
Please don't besmirch my good friend Chris Conley's online
I like
social
Chris
media.
Conley. He's like a really cool dude.
Yeah,
I wouldn't wear the man's jersey, and I bet he probably might agree with me.
Well, he's not sending you one now. I'll tell you that much. I'm with you.
Let me try to take that seriously though. So like, does celebrity change? No, I don't think so. So like, why would you wear? Who's a celebrity nowadays? A Paul, one of the Paul brothers.
No. Answer this question. What about Pete Manzanelli merch? Tell the people who bought Pete Manzanelli merch that they're idiots, Brian. I dare you.
That is also one of the exceptions we said on the show. Bits is totally. I'm wearing a Vegas Dave shirt.
That is egregious, Brian. I mean, you're celebrating this man.
Everyone bets with Vegas Dave. What does this say in the back? I can't remember.
No, yeah, turn around. I forget what it says. It's something about bet with us.
I don't want to ruin my setup here.
I bet with Vegas Dave. It kills me every time. The font too. I don't know if I said this last time, but the font looks like when a bachelorette party gets matching t-shirts for the thing out. It's like that kind of cursive font. That's the font that Vegas Dave chose.
And it's got the Yoda, diamond encrusted Yoda. Oh my God, it's so good. He had a killer today, a great tweet.
Andrew, I don't know if you're just having a yuck 'em up here, but this is pretty funny. If so, I wore my old Arby's uniform to work a few years ago to my engineering startup while business had not been going well. It took a few hours before someone decided to broach the subject. That's incredible if you actually did that. Yeah,
that's funny, but it's also not like the same thing. It would be wearing the Arby's jersey of the manager at your Arby's and wearing the name tag of the manager. And that's like while he's making sandwiches, you're just, oh my God, that was fucking great.
Hey, I don't know, man. People wear the El Pollo Loco shirts from Breaking Bad. I think ultimately what it is it's maybe this is the disconnect. I can't believe we're going back to this. I'm trying to break down the psychology of it. Is in a way it feels like, okay, you're glorifying like this athlete or like whatever, but in general, I think most clothes are a signaling mechanism to other people about what you are and who you are and what you're about. In the same way, our avatars and why everyone loves getting their CryptoPunks or their Bored Ape avatars is because it signals to people what kind of person you are, what community you belong to. And I think people just like jerseys because it's an easy signaling mechanism. Hey, dude, you like Jay Cutler? So do I, dude. Go Bears. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And we said this on the last show too. Tribalism, evolutionary biology, I think are all factors. There's plenty of factors of why people do it. They don't think about it. But if you take it out of context, I think, out of the context of sports, if sports wasn't popular at all, but they still played it, it would be super weird.
Yeah.
And then another exception was if the player's dead. Or like a Hall of Fame, and then we had the formula 20 your age times 2 minus 7. Anything older than that, you probably can.
Brian, you're normally pretty hesitant to release your proprietary formula, so I thank you for sharing that with the lolz fans. Real quick as we wrap up here, because some people did want an update on the Ben the Better situation. Is there any new developments there?
Yeah, so he is like building up his role.
Okay.
And I DM'd him. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Take your time. Every gambler's had bankroll issues at least once.
I thought I saw a tweet from him that, he didn't want to play the 2-game NBA slates and stuff, and that he was, he said he was saving his role for NFL. So it might be a long time.
Yeah. I agree. If I was in his place, I'd probably rather play the 2 gamers.
Yeah.
But he thinks he's a favorite, so maybe not. I mean, but in reality, he's, in my opinion, he's not. And so playing a 2 gamer, you kind of have like a little better shot, just random shit happening.
Yeah.
But I think it's bankroll related. And even though he called me on the phone and then tweeted out some out of context bullshit, whatever, water under the bridge. No, going broke sucks for everyone, right? And every gambler's done it. So,
I mean, yeah, based on the screenshot, it seems like he's had a rough go of it in those betting streets.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he'll be back. And maybe we were talking about in the lolz Discord of getting his Patreon.
that actually would be the ultimate stakes.
That's a bit. I would wear it.
There you go. I would like, Brian, your entire wardrobe should just be famous sports bettors.
I found the old "Where's My Jungler" shirt.
Oh God, yeah. And I have my what is it? It was like my KDA is higher than my GPA, I think is what mine was.
Something like that. Yeah.
I still have, I think it's in a bin around here, man. Back when the origin of my neon lights was to be a League of Legends streamer. And then I just realized that recessed neon lighting was generally good for streaming.
Somebody asked this in the chat too. lolz, League of Legends. Oh, I get it. And that was the bit, right?
Well, Brian, I would say there's levels to the name. I mean, there's probably 5 or 6 levels if you really rack your brain. Don't sell us short on just the literal. The name of the podcast isn't League of Legends.
No, it's not.
No, it's lolz.
It's lolz. And no, I'm saying, like, he was saying, oh, that was part of the bit. It's lolz, but it's also like League of Legends. No, I can't remember. You thought of it.
Well, if people, want to do their history, well, first of all, we did for our 1-year anniversary, we did clip show. If you want to hear about our history, lots of League of Legends clips there. And then this is also famously episode 160 tonight. So you can go back, Brian. We have a catalog of 160 episodes, and I encourage people to go back to the very beginning.
100 of them were deleted in a YouTube database fire, but
yeah, the rest of them, that's why Brian wanted us to go to Parler and Odyssey and these other places where we can't be censored.
I heard you and Matic were talking about Odyssey on that pod you did with him.
Dude, I think it's a different Odyssey.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because the other one is spelled more like the actual Odyssey. And this one I thought was spelled like audio C or something. I'm almost positive they're different. I could be wrong. Okay. I could be wrong. I need to look into that.
It's definitely possible.
Brian, any other plugs here?
No, I don't think so. I have PGA ownership up on my site if people want to go check it out.
Okay.
Free.
Awesome.
We got the Discords. I got one. Pete's got one dedicated to the show. If you guys want to hop in, we're pretty active in there.
That's right. And if you are watching and haven't subscribed, can I just refresh and be at 8,000 subs? I'm just begging you guys.
That would be nice.
It's disgusting. Do you know? I mean, my OCD, Brian. Can you imagine staring at this right now and having to see 7.99?
Well, if you go into manage videos, it updates faster. This is how I also have OCD. And
okay, well, until it's here, it's not real to me, guys.
Okay.
But yeah, and as always, we have the audio version of the podcast. That link is down below. Those MP3s go up on Wednesday nights after the show. We appreciate you guys, even your jersey wearing selves out there. So for Brian Hooper, for Cross Emoji Guy, for Dick Chuck, I'm Peter Overzet, and this is lolz.